Good morning, everybody, and happy Tuesday. How's everybody doing out there? If you're here with me either in the Discord or on the YouTube chat, go ahead and say what's up. Good morning. Who do we have with us this morning? We got a lot of folks in here. We got GC, Wolf, Midland, Trader, Potamus, Anthony, Michael, Ron's Funk, Julius, Big Sexy, Raymond, Panchua, Liquid Flows, Charmods, GV, John, Luna, Cyrus. We have Scorpion Futures, JAU, Robert, Sadek. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning there. Nexus Traders, Mr. Moon, Futures Trading Today, SW, Benji, Decline, J. Patrick, Astro Nerd, Twin Trading, Georgia Dog. Good morning. We have Tron. Good morning, good morning. We also have Code, Julius, Silent NW, Lil Stegs, Gary. Good morning, Casey, O'Keefe, Ron's Funk. Good morning, Sir Noodles. Good morning. Hey, good morning, Preslav. Good morning, O'Keefe. Good morning, Bill. John J. Dana, KG Dana, Enzo Trader. Good morning. How you folks doing out there? Jordy, Lou John, Mark, Zach Attack, Donnie John, RJ, Leg of Lamb. Good morning, Trent Friend, Alex P. Roy. Good morning, Jordy, Future, Boogaloo. Good morning, good morning. Hey, Spastra. Good morning. Golden Trades, Darren, Deviate. Good morning, good morning. How's everybody doing out there? So I haven't taken any trades yet. Just start there. Haven't taken any trades, but we do have some data coming out this morning. But I will say this. Data is not really taking the forefront this week. And we talked about this a little bit yesterday. Good morning, Trader Page. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, but I want to go into it again. But let's kick things right off here. By the way, let's get those likes up so we can do a poll and then maybe a giveaway. I am going to be on Topstep TV today at, what am I going on? 9:15 Eastern time. And that's going to be in a short moment after we get some data out this morning. We do have some interesting data that's coming out. I'm just trying to find my notes here from Bank of England's Pill, who was talking here. Let me see if I can find that. I just had it queued up. But he was yapping this morning. Here we go. Yeah, and that's what's causing the market to roll over right now. So we had Bank of England's Pill, who's the chief economist over at the BOE, who was, talking about basically, rate hikes and everything. And we'll get into that in just a moment. But I do want to talk about what we have on the docket for today. So today in our pre-market session together, we're going to be concluding our session together here on this channel at around 9:10 Eastern time. So we will have two different data releases that we're going over. One of them is just terribly unimportant, and that's going to be the Red Book retail sales. That's going to be out at 8:55 Eastern time. And then at 8:30, which is prior to that, of course, 8:30, we will get the Philly Fed non-manufacturing activity, which can move the market a little bit. But the big print of the day that I am anticipating, we had Julius already called it out. It's the PMI. That's right. The PMI is going to be out 15 minutes after the New York Open today. And it's the preliminary manufacturing, global services, global composite PMI that's going to be out for April, the April PMI. So that's going to be interesting to see. Julia said the flash PMI here in the UK was meh. Yeah, so let's talk about what we had from the Bank of England over here. The Bank of England Pill, he was talking this morning. He actually caused the market to crater a little bit. He is the chief economist, and he said the baseline scenario for cutting bank rates remains some way off. And, when you have words put together like that, the algorithms don't speak English like you and I do, right? So when there's certain words that are grouped together, they can cause an overreaction sometimes, which can cause momentum, which causes other algorithms forcing to follow them. So that was an interesting headline where he said the bank rate remains some way off. And even though the context of that sentence is it's some way off, the fact that way and off are next to each other causes the algorithms to overreact on that type of statement. So when he said that the bank rate remains some way off, it comes across to these algorithms as the bank rate is completely off kilter and it's off base. And basically he's saying that the services CPI needs to be at the target of what they're looking for. So I think that scared and spooked the algorithms a little bit this morning that he opened his speaking engagement with that. And I think that as he continued on, the news was pretty hawkish, or his remarks were pretty hawkish. He did say that there is a greater risk with easing policy too early than later. And again, that's going to continue that momentum that we're seeing. He said he prefers to err on the side of caution, which is just middle of the line. And he said that restrictive policy is reducing price persistence, which obviously if you live here across the pond in the United States, we're not seeing that at all. He did say the labor market pay growth and services inflation is the key right now. A 3 to 4% range for services inflation and wage growth is compatible for a 2% inflation, historically speaking. So what they're looking for is that services inflation and pay growth to be around that 3 to 4% range. He says, don't get too excited for headline inflation falling below 2% target anytime soon, which again, very hawkish. And he did, one of the biggest things I think that he did say that spooked the markets the most was he did say that the Middle Eastern tensions are a risk for inflation. So, I mean, think about that for an algorithm to read that. You're talking about Middle East, you're saying tensions, you're saying risk, and you're saying inflation, all in the same sentence. So I think that made the algorithms pretty spooked. Is it real, though? Is that flush real? I think when you're looking at all of the information he's spewing, there's nothing new there, right? So when you have something, when humans are interpreting data versus the algorithms interpreting data, there's a big difference between the two. And just because we have it moving to the downside on that, it could be an overreaction. So I'm not sold on the reaction to the downside. I'm just expecting that to happen on that type of news that comes out when you have algorithms that are processing that news. So I kind of take that with a grain of salt because there was no new information there. There was nothing new that he said that was, oh, wow, this is brand new. This is changing the trajectory of the market. Unless somebody else can come up with something, I'm not hearing anything through his, this is Pill. He's the chief economist for the Bank of England. I'm not hearing anything of what he's saying that's new information, that's something that we didn't already know. This is just more of the same talking points. So I wanted to share that with you folks at the top of the call here, of course. And I will link his full speech here, which we do have the text for. It's in PDF format. There you go. So there's the Bank of England. And that's his whole speech right there. If you want to go through it yourself and find something that I'm completely missing there, by all means, go for it. But yeah, I'm not seeing anything in there that's going to dictate that the market should be going lower. It doesn't mean that the market's not going to go lower today. All that means is that there's nothing in the text of that speech that is suggesting that there's new information that should cause the market to crater. So where does the new information come from then? Well, it's going to come from the Redbook retail sales, the Philly Fed non-manufacturing activity that's going to be out at 8:30 today, and that PMI data. Now, in addition to the PMI, remember the PMI is going to be out 15 minutes after the open here. In addition to the PMI, we also are going to have the new home sales from March, which again, the Fed is actually looking at the housing market right now. They're using that as sort of a barometer for their choices moving forward. They're looking at employment, they're looking at houses, they're looking at prices paid, consumer prices. These are all important metrics. So new home sales being out at 10 a.m., that's going to be important. I don't think it'll move the market tremendously so, but it still can have an effect on the market. In tandem at 10 a.m., we're also going to see the Richmond Fed Manufacturing Index and the Richmond Fed Business Conditions. That's going to be in tandem with the new home sales out at 10. And then later on in the afternoon at 1 p.m. today, we are going to see a 2-year note auction out from the Treasury. So that, I think, will also have a chance to pick up some volatility here. I think that's going to change things around. But I really think the star of the show comes after the bell. Why? Well, we have earnings after the bell. We have Tesla earnings. We have Visa earnings. Those are the two that I'm going to be paying attention to. Visa is important. Why? Because Visa is a consumer credit instrument. I mean, they're a consumer credit company that produces a consumer credit instrument, and hearing what their full year guidance is, their forward-looking guidance maybe for 25 and 26, if they're going to release those numbers, we're going to know what they're saying about the consumer, if they're expecting the consumer to trend down or if the consumer is going to stay robust and strong. They're going to have a big effect on inflation, as well as Tesla. Tesla is going to be a big name to watch because it's part of the Mag 7. It's part of what's going on in the world right now. We're talking about AI. We're talking about consumers buying autos. It's a big company that has a big effect on the path forward. So Visa and Tesla are reporting today after the bell, and I think that's really going to set the tone for the rest of the week. So all of this data that's coming out right now and today, that is important, but I think that most of the larger institutional players will be watching for what's going to happen with Tesla and Visa, and they're both going to be reporting after the bell today. In addition to Tesla and Visa, we do also have, who is it? Stellantis, I think, or I can't remember I don't have my notes in front of me for the earnings after the bell, but I know that Tesla and Visa are the two most important ones that I'm going to be watching. Tomorrow after the bell, on Wednesday after the bell, we will be hearing from Meta. We will be hearing from IBM. We'll hear from, there's one other, Ford. Ford is tomorrow as well. And then Lam Research, which is a big chips name. So we're going to have to see on Wednesday what happens after we've kind of carried the torch into today after the bell and seeing how that kind of affects things. And then, of course, the big earnings day, as well as the big news release day, because we're going to get jobless claims. We're also going to get the PCE on Thursday. But on Thursday, we're going to hear from Microsoft. We're going to hear from Google, Alphabet, whatever you want to call them, Intel, Snapchat, which is not that important, Roku, and then Western Digital, I believe, as well. So yeah, it's going to be, GM is pre-market. GM already reported, I believe that we already had the numbers from GM. Let me see if I have them on my terminal here. No earnings out from GM yet. I'm surprised they haven't reported yet. I guess they're going to be reported. No, they did report. There they go. They beat on both the top and bottom. So GM beat on both the top and bottom there. They raised their full year guidance, their EPS, they raised their net revenue, their CapEx. So yeah, I mean, good report out from GM there. For some reason, my terminal's lagging right now. But there we go. But yeah, GM did report this morning, beating on top and bottom. We also heard from UPS. We heard from Lockheed Martin, beat on top and bottom, affirmed their full year guidance. Spotify, Raytheon, JetBlue, Halliburton, all of these big names reported. And they were all very positive from what I saw coming across my terminal. Nothing really stood out as negative. So it's going to be interesting to see if we are simply just trying to find some more liquidity to take our way higher here. We didn't quite have, this is sort of a failed breakout to the top side here. You can call this, for ICT traders out there, they call this turtle soup, but it's a failed breakout. And we're looking at a failed breakout up here. To the downside, we do have liquidity that is resting below that we can potentially take out and draw that liquidity to make our way higher. But right now, we have kind of been in sort of a slower uptrend, but this failed breakout here to the top side is somewhat interesting here. So we are just kind of failing back down. I do want to see at 8:30 what the Philly Fed non-manufacturing activity does for us. I don't know if it's going to move things around, in a big way. I'm expecting the two biggest prints of the day are going to be at 9:45 and 1 p.m. respectively. That's going to be the PMI out at 9:45 and then the 2-year note auction out at 1. I don't know when Tesla is going to be reporting after the bell today and when Visa is going to be reporting after the bell. It kind of changes. We've had Tesla say that they're going to report at 4:30. This is all Eastern time, by the way. We've had them come out and say that they're going to report at 4:30 and then they lag until like 4:45. We've had them say that they're going to report at 4:15 and then immediately reporting after the bell. Given that they're on a Tuesday, which is rare for Tesla, most of the time they're reporting on Wednesdays and Thursdays, I would say that there's a good chance that they could be reporting at 4 or 4:05. Now, if you are looking to trade this on Topstep, you have to be aware that all of your positions must be closed by 4:10 p.m. Eastern time. If they are not, you actually run the risk of having your account voided, meaning that if you're trading in an express funded account and you don't actually close your trade yourself, they might actually close your account, and that's in their rules. So just don't play with fire. If you're looking to play the Tesla earnings and they don't report right away, it's probably best to just leave it and play the afterglow of the print. And I mean that either in Globex or playing it the following day, Wednesday, tomorrow. So just keep that top of mind. Don't worry about it if you miss the print, if it's coming later where we don't have a time to trade it on Topstep. Just don't worry about it, right? Jeff asks, is this what happened to the 230K guy from yesterday? I'm assuming, and again, I have absolutely no idea. I don't work for Topstep. I don't have any of the access to internal information. But this is what my guess is that there was a group of people who were sending an account long and a group of people who were sending an account short. And they were working together. They're colluding together. And it's very easy when you own all of the data in the network where you can see all of these traders and you can pick this out pretty easily. You can just compare the data and see that, at this time that this group with this VPN that they're running is going long and this group over here is going short. And yeah, I mean, it's people who are trying to scam the system will always be found out. And it's really not that difficult to find that when you own all of the data. Even though we're connecting to Rhythmic on NinjaTrader, we're connecting through Topstep servers. So they own all of that data that's being processed through their servers. So if you're trying to scam one of these companies, I mean, you're going to get found out sooner than later. There's not going to be any way that you're ever going to scam one of these companies for a big amount of money and you're going to be able to persist doing that. It's just very easy to sniff out bad actors. And it's just better to, if that's your MO, if you're trying to pull the wool over the eyes of one of these companies, I mean, I'm sure, number one, you'd probably get prosecuted if you're here in the States. And number two, it's if you're not in the States, you're doing it from another country, you're going to get found out. And it's just a huge waste of your time. Someone made $230K yesterday. No, somebody made back-to-back, like 3 days in a row, ended up making like $230,000 there. Worst part is I had not done big size. The trade went my way. Really disappointed in myself right now. I missed what you said earlier there, G-Dub. Morning, all. I abused my 150K combine this morning, took a few L's, got mad and tilted, put on full size and hit personal daily loss limit. I really don't deserve to be funded pulling crap like that. Why do I do it is a question. Well, I can tell you from somebody who used to do it. I mean, tilt is a nasty thing. The only way that I was able to start getting my arms around tilt and stopping the tilt was to literally just get up away from my terminal and walk away and shut down everything for the day. And I thought I could do it in other ways, and I split tested it in other ways. And at the time, I wasn't trading funded accounts, I was trading my own money. So it was tremendously expensive. But, you know, I learned the hard way. I paid a lot of market tuition, and it finally got to the point where I just said, you know what? I really got to do something different, because I kept thinking that I could control it, but there wasn't a control outside of physically removing myself. Obviously, I don't need to do that anymore. This is years ago that I was having this issue, but you just have to find a way to stop trading. You have to find a way to lock yourself out. That's why one of the great things about Topstep X right now is that lockout button. If you aren't using that lockout button, you aren't using Topstep X, you can get cold turkey, which I'll link here in chat right here. That's cold turkey. I'll post that in Discord as well. And so you get that software, and you can actually lock yourself out of whatever you're trading on. And it's a great thing to have. I never used it myself because, like I said, I don't really struggle with this problem anymore. I did struggle with this problem for multiple years. So I know exactly what you're going through. And I'm the type of person who likes to take on a challenge. And so what I used to do is I try to invent ways to beat it. And I didn't realize that, you know, the easy route was literally that the moment that I would feel that physical tell on my body, for me, it was feeling hot behind my ears. When I felt hot behind my ears, I would literally just stand up, shut down everything, and walk away. And I didn't care if I was in a position that was green, if I was in a position that was red. I couldn't give a flip. And all I did was just shut everything down. And I said, if I can't stop myself from trading right now, then I have a serious problem. And that's what it came down to. I just literally said, I made a rule for myself that I said, okay, Rips, if you can't trade right now, if you can't stop yourself from trading, because I knew that I was on tilt, I could feel the tilt physically on my body. I said, okay, if you can't figure out a way to stop right now, then you can't do this. There's no way that you could be doing this full time. And so I had to prove to myself that I was bigger than the problem, and being able to get up, stop trading for the day, and walking away. And it got to the point where I wasn't even looking at charts. It got to the point where it was refreshing for me. It was refreshing because I felt like I had conquered that beast. I had conquered that huge problem of mine. And I proved to myself that I was stronger than the tilt. And it's something that you have to work towards. It's not going to happen overnight. It didn't happen for me overnight. In fact, when I first started doing it, there was times when I'd come back into my trading office and I'd turn back on everything and go back to trading. And you know, I'd break that rule. And it just got to the point where I realized that, you know, I could not handle that. And I just had to keep pushing for it. And, you know, eventually I got my arms around the problem, and I just kept pushing towards it. And it got to the point where it was just second nature. I'd feel that heat behind my ears, and I'd immediately shut everything down. I didn't care if I was in a position or not, because that it was just, you're looking at a temporary thing versus a long-term thing. I didn't care if I was in a position that was up a couple $1,000s. I would just close out immediately. And even if the position would run in my favor for the rest of the day, I would recognize, look, I took this trade on tilt. I shouldn't be in this trade in the first place. If I'm rewarded for this, I'm never going to kick this habit. So yeah, I just literally had to stop what I was doing, walk away from the machine, and just be done. And it was like, you know, I'd miss trading days, but it's like you condition your mind that says, well, if you're going to play this tilting game, if you're going to go on tilt and start trading with anger and trade out of pocket where you're not taking, you know, sound setups or something that you should be trading, then I haven't earned the right to trade for that day. I haven't earned the privilege to be trading. And that's kind of how I set the rules with myself. I said that, you know, if I hadn't earned the privilege to trade, then I'm not allowed to be trading. It's like, that's your boss coming down on you and saying, hey, you can't trade today. You didn't earn the right. You're breaking the rules. You're in a trade right now. You know you shouldn't, you darn well shouldn't be in. And even if you're up in that trade, you got to close that trade because you didn't earn the right to trade. You know that you're on tilt and you shouldn't be trading right now. So getting up and walking away was my big solution for that. Another suggestion is with Topstep X, put it in a lower personal daily loss limit. Hardest thing to realize is there will always be other opportunities to trade. One of the hardest things is when you're in that moment, and you are just tilting like a mother scratcher, it's just like one of those things where you can't see anything else. For me, I had tunnel vision. I'm looking at those trades and I'm saying, I need this. You're like a trading junkie. It's horrible. When that tilt gets a hold of you, nothing else in the world matters. All that matters is you want to get even. You want to win this trade. You're so angry and you just want to get it. You just need it, and I need it now. And it's like, yeah, you turn into a nasty, awful person. And if you can't get your arms around that person, they're going to run rampant and they're just going to destroy you. And for me, that's what was happening. I was getting destroyed by that person that came out from within me, that tilting fiend that needed to trade and needed to put on risk. And then you just start to realize, like, none of that matters. It really is not that big of a deal. None of it matters. It's completely and entirely insignificant. One trading day isn't going to change your life. I still get FOMO a little bit from time to time. Like last Monday, I actually left. I was off site and was far away from a trading terminal, outside of my phone, of course. And I missed a big flush, and it was a great flush. It was my type of trade. It was something I would have traded. It was frustrating for me. What was my antidote for that? I skipped the next trading day in my XFAs. So Monday came and went. I was super frustrated about missing the trade. Obviously, I don't have FOMO in the sense where I used to, where it's like you're just rushing to trade whatever the heck you can because you're so mad you missed a move. But no, my antidote for that was Tuesday. I said, hey, I'm not going to trade my XFAs. Didn't trade my XFAs on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, back-to-back bangers nonstop. And I ended up finishing my week, I don't know, with like $20,000 in profit, if not more. And so that was my antidote, and it works. And these are practices that I've developed over the years of trial and error. And the reason why I share these stories with you folks is that I know how nasty it can be. I know how disgusting these things get. I know what a fiend you can turn into when you're looking for that adrenaline high, when you're wanting to fix things immediately, when you get that feeling in the pit of your stomach where it just feels awful, and you realize that you've done something you shouldn't have done, and now you want to fix it, and now you're making the problem worse by trying to want to fix it. I know how this all feels. And again, the reason why I share these stories with you folks is in hopes that you can understand that, number one, you're not alone in going through this. These are all very common problems in trading. And number two, hopefully by hearing me yap about these things, you can say, oh, well, maybe I'll try what he's talking about. Maybe I can implement that in my trading strategy or my emotional psychology strategy and see if that works for me. And hopefully it does. Hopefully if I can just get one single person out there to avoid the same pain and suffering that I went through for years with trading, then I feel like I've done something right there. So take my advice when I'm talking about this stuff, because you're talking to somebody who went through this stuff and got thrashed by this stuff, and it's not fun. It brings you to your knees. It's something that you absolutely want to avoid. Tilt is one of the worst things when it comes to trading. And if you haven't experienced tilt, God bless you, because you are a lucky person. I experienced tilt for years and years and years, and it was just not fun. It was horrible. How can I find a trading buddy? Be forthcoming. Check out Twitter. Go on Twitter. Look for people on Twitter. It's a good spot. But align yourself with a trading buddy who shares the same goals as you. And be careful when you're finding trading buddies. Try to find somebody who's honest. I know a lot of folks who end up finding trading buddies who are kind of dishonest. Some people are very, very concerned about their egos out there and don't want to be honest. And they'll say, oh, I'm winning, and they're lying about that. You don't want to be with a trading buddy who's lying to you. And I actually had somebody come to me yesterday about that, saying that they found out their trading buddy had never even passed the combine, was sitting there talking about how they're funded and everything, and like just all this stuff. It's like, oh dear, that's crazy. So make sure you're aligned with a trading buddy who's completely honest with you. And here's how you're going to know. If they're telling you that they're not having any bad days and they're not losing at all, that's not a good trading buddy to have. So I don't know. Trading space is a weird space. There's a lot of, fibbers out there. Guess what? In trading, you're going to have bad days. I have bad days all the time. There's no way to avoid and escape bad days. I'm very transparent about when I'm having bad days, when I'm out of the pocket. If your trading buddy is telling you that they're never having bad days, find a new trading buddy out there. Topstep's logout feature is great. Had another great night trading. Locked myself out to protect profits. I love that, Surgical Surge. You've been on fire lately. Keith says, thank you for your tilt advice. We love you, Rips. You're a gift from the heaven. Oh, thank you, Keith. Appreciate you. Yesterday, I came back after having a great morning and losing 2 combines, trying to find a reversal at 11 a.m. and finally reversed, but I should have practiced patience and confirmation for a reversal. Make sure you journal that, G-Lines. That's like a perfect journal entry right there, because you go back, and everybody asks me this all the time. Oh, what do I do with my journal entries? You go back, you read it the next day. You read what you did right, and you read what you did wrong, right? And if you can read those things and be having those to the top of your mind for the day, it's less likely that you're going to commit the same sins that you did on the day before. Rips, do you trade with micros? Now that they've done the micros to minis conversion, when I'm trading on Topstep X, when I demonstrate that, that's definitely something that I will consider. It's trading micros. But no, I'm a minis trader. I trade on the 150K combines, 150K XFAs, and then I trade on my live account from time to time, which, by the way, I still haven't touched in a very long time. It's been ages since I touched my live account. I mainly trade on the minis. It's pretty rare that I'm ever trading the micros, but that's because I've built up these accounts and they have a lot of equity in them. And, I can afford a max loss day. Like right now, if I had max loss day, I could have multiple max loss days in a row in my XFAs. I still wouldn't lose them because the balances are pumped up. But that's not to say I'm trying to be reckless or anything. But no, the micros are a little bit too small for what I'm trying to achieve in my day-to-day process. Like yesterday, had a fantastic day trading my XFAs. Can't remember if we did one trade here in the live stream or not, or if that was only in Discord. But we made about $4.6 thousand, so 4.6K on my XFAs yesterday, continuing the trend of what we've been doing here. So very, very proud of myself for staying in the pocket. Locked up yesterday. I hit 4.6K, locked it up. Didn't look back. I missed a move in the market. We missed that. I missed that rally. My last trade was actually a short. Think about this. My last trade yesterday was a short. And I think I was shorting down somewhere like from this level to this level, or maybe it was from that level to somewhere like in that prior wick or something like that. I did a short and that was it. And I missed this whole rally. But I occupied myself with other things. I was doing mentorship. I was doing some one-on-ones during this time when we had that rally, and I was working on the webinar that we're going to be having tomorrow. And then I was working out. So I occupied my time. That's another thing that can help with over trading and tilt, is finding ways to occupy your time. And if you need to be sitting in your terminal watching your desk because you're waiting for a setup to come, you can play online chess, you can do puzzle games, you can do a crossword, you can do other things that occupy that part of your mind that is calculating things, so you're not so transfixed on the market and blowing your mental capital there. If you start to make money in trading, start streaming, sell a course, rumor, signal. Otherwise, you'll be in the 90% of losing traders category. I disagree with you, Gold Goblin. And I think that, if you have a negative outlook, not only in life, but in trading, you're never going to get anywhere. There was somebody who commented on my manifestation short that was saying something along the lines of, this is horrible advice. If you ever tried this in a controlled environment, you would fail on it. And it's like, well, I wonder where you are in life. I wonder what's going on in your life where you're just so angry and upset with the world that you feel like you're being cheated at every single avenue. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard. You can be positive and just be fine in life. It's okay to be positive. It's okay to manifest positivity. It's one of those things where if you're not really doing it, then there's going to be a problem in your life. In my opinion, you're going to have a very negative outlook and a very negative attitude, in my opinion. You traded here live yesterday, but I'm not sure if it's XFA or Combine. Yeah, I traded live yesterday, but I did trade XFA. I can't remember if I traded my XFA at like the tail end of the stream. I don't think I did. I traded XFAs when I came into the Discord stream there. Ribs, does Topstep X have an alert function? I can't find it. Ooh, good question. Can anybody help out saying? Can anybody help out saying there? I struggle with emotions when I get stopped out and trade will go my way. Frustrating. Well, I mean, you have to stick with whatever your stops are going to be. You have to become married to whatever your stops are going to be. By the way, data's coming out here in 20 seconds here. I'm going to be trading this on combines. Nothing in the XFAs, just because I don't think this print is really going to affect the market here. Let's see. Heard anything new with the 10 XFAs? Would it likely launch with Topstep X? It may, Tommy. It may. They're obviously working out all the kinks. There's a lot to go on that. 5 seconds here, folks. We had a nice bounce from VWAP there. Let's see. No alert function in Topstep X yet. So minus 12.4 versus a negative 18.3 prior. I don't know why we'd rally on that, to be honest. Wait, Topstep does have an alert? Click on the bell on the profile page? Oh, no. I think there's a... I don't know. I haven't used Topstep X enough to comment on it, but yeah, there you go. Jay says, I had FOMO and was always trying to get more. I finally learned to lock myself out. Yesterday was a great example for me. Locked myself out of 2 XFAs and traded the third, which made a lot more than the first 2. But woke up this morning and instead of kicking myself for, quote, missing out on the first 2, was very happy I locked myself out. Yeah, you're turning the corner for sure. That's how I felt too. Absolutely turning the corner. That's really great. And I appreciate you sharing that there, Jay. That's what it feels like when you're actually turning the corner. It's feeling impervious to the results. And it's like on Monday, I missed that huge flush and it's like, whatever, it's not real. I missed it. And you know, just imagine if you were on a vacation somewhere in another part of the world and you're not even looking at your charts. You come back after your vacation, you look, oh, wow, look at all this price action I missed. What's the difference? It's just the way that you're framing it in your mind there. Richard Harris says, trading community is rough. You have to get used to haters like that when you're a ranked siege player. Yeah. I mean, I don't really care all that much anymore. It used to be something where I care about seeing people succeed. I really do. I care about I want to see people winning in trading. But at the end of the day, there's just some negative Nancy's out there. And no matter what you do, you're never going to be able to win them over. It's like yesterday when we announced the micros to minis conversion. And you had a couple of people who were sitting there saying, oh, but the commissions now, the commissions are going to be so outrageous. It's like, no matter what you do, you can never please everybody. Dana says, I love it when you just yeet the trolls. We actually have a great mod in here now. I had originally I'd hired one mod that was no good, but we have a mod in here now, which is just great. And they've been doing really, really well. And if anybody starts saying something out of pocket, then they just get completely yeeted, as you say. What's the indicator that's drawing lines on your chart? Hourly high, hourly low. It's a custom indicator, but it's actually available in Clubhouse now. I mean, I don't want to say that like it's a reason to join. I don't want you joining Clubhouse for this indicator. Like I would hate that. So I don't really pump that and say that, but yeah, it's a custom indicator. It's just hourly high, hourly low. There's plenty of indicators that you can find out there that can set this up. It's just, you know, it's an hourly high, hourly low. It's not a magical thing. It doesn't do anything special for you. I mean, I've actually debated not even running the hourly high, hourly low on this chart over here, but yeah, it is what it is. What do the hourly high and lows tell you? I mean, it just gives me a nice little picture on the market here. I can see that we were range bound and we had draws of liquidity to the top and to the bottom of that range. And right now we're just kind of fiddling back in the middle here. So it gives me a nice little bird's eye view on what the price action is doing. It doesn't really tell me much more than that. That's it. Can we use that indicator on Topstep X? No, unfortunately you can't. But I think that somebody was developing a version for trading view, which I think maybe, can you import custom indicators in Topstep X yet? I think that's something that's going to be coming there. Love the 10X micros. I'm going to start trading my 50K XFA. It's my first and only one, so I wasn't trading because of the minis record. Yes, exactly. And you know what's funny, Deviate? I've actually heard that. I've heard that exactly the same exact feedback there. From everybody. Claire says the amount that complained about silver and yet I don't know many that trade silver. Yeah, exactly. Why did they add silver? What the heck's going on? Bollinger Bands comparable. I mean, if you could set your Bollinger Bands just to do hourly high and hourly low, I'm sure there's what's the other one? Stochastics, not stochastics, but there's another one that everybody always thinks it is. Duchovny bands. I don't know. The David Duchovny bands. There you go. Anyone know if Topstep will eventually allow other platforms to have the mini to micro conversion? I don't think that's anywhere on the docket, Matthew. Count their channels. Yeah, maybe. There's another one. I don't know why I'm seeing it in my head as Duchovny, but it starts with a D, but something. I trade micros up to 3 minis, but being able to take profits on half a mini is huge. Yes, exactly. I mean, it's huge. Don Chin, thank you. Thank you, Don Chin. The David Duchovny Don Chin channels. There you go. Added more to the combine, all micros. Nice. How you liking the micros, Rons? That's awesome. Yeah, you love it? Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people who were never even trading their 50K, like Deviate in here, wasn't trading their 50K XFA. And then they get this, the micros to minis conversion. It's amazing. Not trying to troll, but do you know the progress of Topstep X? Is the site nearly done? And have they gone from offering that $450 deal to now only offering 25% off for a month on the last fire sale? So it's close to being released. They're obviously going to have some type of promotion for when they release it there, Jeff. But I think it's weeks out from being released. It could release end of this week for as far as I know. Could release today. It could release next week. Could release May 15th. It's weeks out, you know, and I don't know if it's this week or next week or the following week, but it's weeks out and they're very close. They just want to make sure that it's ready for prime time. And, you know, it's just one of those things where they have to wait until it's all ready to go, because the last thing they want, think about it. If they're already jammed up with support tickets right now, and this is in beta, it's on a limited release. Imagine if they don't have everything under wraps. So they're just doing it from a company standpoint where they want to be able to provide the best experience to every trader out there. And they're taking their time. So the answer is when it's done. When it's done is when it's going to be released. National says, started trading micros on Friday, up 2,600. Give it up for National in here. Julius says, release it on my birthday, May 19th. Happy early birthday to you, Julius. How long do I have to pay after I pass the combat? 30 days. 30 days. But if you have 3 XFAs that are passed, you need to pay within those 30 days where you actually lose it. I wasn't trading my 50K XFA, but I was pumping on the 150K instead while waiting on the 10X micros. Actually, I think I'll keep trading 150K until it's passed and then circle back to the 50K XFA. That is, listen to what DV8 just said right there, what he just typed. It's awesome, right? Like, that's, if you're in the mindset of like, I'll get to it when I get to it, when I'm good and ready to get to it, you're looking for ways to be in control of your trading. That is in control of your trading. You're not beholden to this idea that, oh, geez, I got to be trading my XFA right now. I got to be making money. I got to be pulling money from the market. Being in the same mindset as DV8 is in here, talking about, oh, I'm going to trade my 150K. I'm going to try to pass it. I got all the time in the world. Like, that's where you want to be. That's in control of your trading. That's the kind of person who's not going to get tilted by things. Oh, you take a losing day, whatever. It's just one day. I'll be back tomorrow if I want to be. That's the type of thing where, you know, you're going to be in control of your trading there. Micros on the 50K is so less stressful. I know, right? Being able to trade 5 micros, half a mini, or even a third of a mini is just extraordinary, right? All right, so the next piece of information coming out is the Red Book retail sales. I don't expect it to move the market all that much. I'd love to take a trade, but we're just kind of, you know, what I would have been looking for here specifically, we'll go to the 1 minute. I would have been looking for a pullback at the level here. I wanted to see this kind of, grab my drawing tool. I wanted to see this pulling back and then launching, and would have tried taking a trade right there. You know, we just didn't pull back. So I didn't see the setup that I was looking for there. But, you know, some people who are trading this continuation here are definitely getting paid on this. I'm just not going to be one of those people right now. I would like to see if we are rejecting up at 433 halves, but right now we are currently holding this beautiful trend here to the top side. And the levels have been just working so tremendously well. You can see here overnight, we tap, knocked on the door on the level, bursted above, retested the level, came up. That was resistance, and now we're using that sort of as a support level. So we will have to see is whether or not we can take out the high of day from yesterday there at 448 evens. If that's the case, we do have room to the top side here. 480s. This is going to be a tough nut to crack up here. If we do actually break above this level, and we do find some strength, there will be a lot of stops that are going to be popped here in no man's land. So we'll have to see whether or not that happens today. Likely we'll be live trading on Topstep TV when that's going to be happening. But right now, I'm still not just seeing any kind of setup here. You don't second guess your entry with a micro. Love it. Oh, that's nice, Renee. Yeah, that's a good point. Grabbing 3 to 5 micros per trade and being able to scale in without too much stress, too much risk feels so much better. Yeah, I agree. Think about it, when you have $1,000 drawdown in that 50K XFA and you're limited to 2 minis, it's like you put on a mini, it's already like, oh, geez, you lose 10 points. You're already a fifth of the way blown, you know? It's very, very frightening and scary versus, you know, you could put on 5 micros and it's like, wow, half of a mini. This is great. It's $100 for every 10 points. This is awesome. Just talking about the NQ, of course, but yeah, it makes a lot more sense. National says, so much less stress and easy for me to stay in a position and add in as needed. Yeah, the ability to be able to add and, you know, trade around your own position. There's a lot to be said about that, right? Got an interview for a new job today. I finally got to where I only want to take a few trades a day, so hopefully a new job can keep me busy the other time. That's awesome. Congratulations there, Ryan. So easy to always hold one micro as a runner. Agreed there, Luna. Got 1,000 out on this trade and running one now. Nice, man. Preet, way to go there. Blew 3 XFAs because of that. Yeah, because the micros to minis is everything now. It's like you don't have to worry about that anymore. Just the idea that, you can take it at your own pace. Think about it. You could put on 1 micro and it's $2 a point in the NQ. It's like crazy, right? What does MP passing that test mean? Absolutely nothing for us. Literally nothing. I guess it's just prestige for MP. But for us, it means absolutely nothing. Just passed 3 150K combines done in 8 days. Way to go, futures trading today. That's awesome. And I like to hear that because, I calculated what my average was in passing combines. It's about 9 days. My average is about 9 days. And that's, I limited time that I'm trading in the markets. I'm trading here in the morning with you folks. I'm trading around when I'm doing one-on-ones. I'm trading, live in Clubhouse when I'm not doing those one-on-ones. So yeah, just pass them in 2 days, but blow the XFA in 5. Well, Jeff, if you are blowing them too quickly, definitely try trading on the micros. That's what I would suggest. Can you mix and match a trade with micros and minis as long as they're not on the opposite side? So if you want to take 1 mini and then 1 micro, it's 2 different charts. So yeah, sure. You just can't take 1 long, 1 short because that'd be hedging and you'd get busted. One of the micros for a long time. Yeah, I'm curious to see, Jeff, if you report back and you could let us know whether or not it's helping your trading. I think that most traders will be seeing a benefit from it. After the micro to mini conversion, I paid XFA fee for a 50K that I had passed 1 week ago, and because now it is actually tradable. Agree with you 100%. And I think that rings true. There's actually another person in Clubhouse that told me the exact same thing, technical trader. Exact same thing. They said that they've had this XFA, they passed it like 2 weeks ago, and they were never going to use it because they usually trade 100K combines. And they go, oh, now I'm going to use this 50K because of the micros to minis. It's great. I think it's awesome. I love to see it. It's definitely one of the things that was highly requested, and it's so cool to see the company listening to everybody. And it's not like this is something where they're just like they're holding back on it and saying, oh yeah, we don't want to do this. This is something where they had to put a lot of money into this and rewrite the reporting system and rewrite things and get this working on this platform. And I mean, it's cool to have a company that cares so much about their traders to do that. I mean, it's only going to benefit traders. It's going to make it easier to get payouts on a 50K XFA, in my opinion. Zignitas says $270 away from passing a 150K combine. Pump the brakes, slow down. Don't focus on that number is what I would say. Casey says she's loving the pre-market, or he is loving the pre-market so far. Hats off to you there, Casey. Tough to not be feeling a bit of FOMO from the bounce on VWAP. You just got to let it go. You just got to let it go. That's no big deal. I missed the trade too. Is what it is. It's water under the bridge. Thunder says, do I have the record for trading stupid? Past 150K in 4 days, lost XFA in 2. Slow it down. Slow it down. You gotta, if you're blowing the XFA in 2, which is in the fastest time possible, you gotta find a way to pump the brakes. You're coming in too hot and too heavy. 150K in 4 days is not super fast. It's up there with being quick. I mean, maybe you had some good market conditions, but I would say once you get to that XFA, one of the best exercises that you could do, and Deviate kind of alluded toward this earlier. One of the things that you could do is you pass that XFA, you pay for it, and then you go back to trading combines and you say, well, Rips, I'm trying to pull money from the market. Well, what happens is if you go in too hot and you're heavy and you're desperate, you're trading with desperate eyes and a desperate mindset, well, you might end up running into the issue where you're blowing that XFA very, very quickly. And it's easy to do if you're, I can't blow my XFAs right now because they have too much balance in them, but let's just say that I had $1,000 balance and it was about to be blown. I promise you I could blow that XFA in about 5 seconds. Promise. I honest to God, it would take me about 20 mouse clicks. I could blow that account in 5 seconds. It's extremely easy to lose money into these markets. Why? Well, because of spreads, fees. And if I wanted to flip contracts, I could cost myself just in fees alone thousands of dollars really, really quickly. But just the spreads alone, if I'm buying and selling, the spreads are going to eat me alive. So what does that say? It says that the default function of the market is to remove money from our accounts. The default function, right? If the default function was that I'm going to flip contracts and I'm actually going to make money from that, well, then the default function of the markets would be that it's going to add money to my account. Well, if that's the default function of the markets, you must understand that we have to be better than what the default function of those markets are. And we have to find ways to extract money from the market. And you say, Rips, of course, that's ridiculous. But think about it. If you're going into this with desperate eyes and you're trying to desperately trade into the profit, what's going to be better? The person who's going into this that has an XFA passed, letting it sit, going and trading another combine. Hey, passed another one. And now you go back to trading that XFA. Now you're no longer desperate. And maybe you're the type of person who says, I got an extra XFA sitting here. I'm going to take this slow. I'm not desperate. If I lose this one, maybe I pass another one, keep another one in the wings. And you just relax. You just take it easy. That's the type of mindset that if you're going to the markets with this relaxed mindset, like right now, I'm not desperate to take any trades. Why? Well, number one, I don't like how the market's setting up. Number two, obviously I have the experience of walking down this path many, many mornings. But most of all, it's that I have no desperation to trade. I got a live account. I got 3 XFAs. I'm doing just fine. I've been on a hot streak, right? I'm not going to lie. I've been on a hot streak since last Wednesday. I've been on a hot streak, been running hot, had some great trades. Even the week before that was running really, really hot. The 2 weeks before that, it's been going really, really well. I'm very happy with my performance. But all of that aside, that sets me up to not have a desperate mindset for trading. And I often talk about this in a lot of my one-on-ones, is that if you find yourself thinking something out of pocket, you're doing something out of pocket, you want to start to do a self-evaluation of where you are in your own head, right? How am I trading right now? Am I trading like a desperate person would? Am I trading calmly? Am I trading tilty? Am I trading with anger? Am I trading with excitement? Am I trading with depression? You want to be thinking about, what is my mindset as I'm trading? And if your mindset is not even keel, even Steven, then you're probably doing things that you shouldn't be doing. And you need to find ways to stop and interrupt the process so you can have those moments of self-evaluation and give yourself sort of a report card. And if the answer is something, I'm trading with heavy emotions right now, I'm trading with a lot of anger because I want to get even, stop yourself. Stop yourself from trading, pull yourself out. Julian says, I'm using combines to see if I'm in the groove and seeing the market correctly. I love that. See, I love that. That's amazing. And that's not a desperate trader right there. That's somebody who's in control of their trading. They're in control of what account they're going to trade, when they're going to trade. That's in control. The desperate trader is sitting there and saying, oh my gosh, I just missed a trade. Oh, I got to get this back. Is it running? Is it going up? Is it going up? Is it going to keep going up? Oh, I'm just going to try it here. That's the desperate trader. That's the desperate trader. Rips, need your help trying to get advanced personal daily loss limit added and upvoted in Topstep X. So what would be in the advanced PDLL? Let me ask you that there, trending products. What would you be looking for? Let's talk about that. I think a lot of the time, some traders who consistently blow accounts may be the cause of needing money fast. I agree with you, Al, 100%. I agree with you. Nice work there, GC. Wow, look at that. Did you trade GC last night? Did you get any of that dump? I think you did, right? Last night? That was an insane dump. I saw a couple people in here catching that. That's a big thing for me. Yeah, quick retracement scalp. Nice work there, GC. That's a big thing for me. I start every day on a practice and then on how I feel with it. I move to the combine, XFA, or live. I love that, Loxy. Again, you got to question yourself. Am I in control of my trading? I was not in control of my trading early on in the career. The first 3 years, there was no control over my trading. I was controlled by the market. Whatever the market was doing that day dictated how I was trading and everything. It was never me being in control of things. And I would lie to myself about being in control. I was never in control until I found a way to be in control. And that was like getting in control of my tilt was walking away from the system. Next webinar is tomorrow there, Josh. Something that helps you set limits on the number of contracts. Don't we already have that? Isn't there a PDLL already? I'm curious about the advanced PDLL there. Advanced PDLL where you cannot change it for 1, 3, or even 5 days. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. That's cool. Yeah, maybe we can all go upvote that for you there, trending products. That's very, very interesting. All right, there's your 10. Well, I guess that's not even an injection of liquidity. There's a player that's angry at the market right now. There's somebody that's very upset and angry. What is tomorrow's webinar? You will see. You will see. I'm going to keep it a surprise. You will see. I think that you folks are going to love it. Do you ever use different ATM strategies in NinjaTrader? Mainly, to be honest with you, Donald, I'm using the 60 tick stop. That's it. 60 tick stop. I have a bunch of them in here. I have, let's see how many I have. Well, looks like about 20 different ATM strategies. Most of the time I'm locked and loaded at a 60 tick. It's a secret webinar. You need a password to get in. You need a password. Don't you think that other sources of income helped you with self-control? Of course, but I mean, it it also was a hindrance in the beginning because I had no respect for the money that I was losing. I was just like, I'll just deposit more. Yeah, we're going to do a hot tub webinar. It's going to be a hot tub stream. It's going to be live on kick.com. Thank you for that there, John D. But yeah, I mean, obviously it helped having another source of income, but I was also blowing a lot of that money. I would load up an account and I would hit it really, really hard. And then in 3 days, I would have to reload it again, or in 2 weeks or whatever. Yeah, you could say it was a good thing, but it was also a very negative thing because I lacked the respect for the money, and I would never be satisfied with the amount of money that I was pulling from the market. So I disagree. It wasn't what created my self-control. It actually probably was responsible for my lack of self-control in the beginning there. What I'd really like to see in Topstep X is something that allows us to get X amount of profit and then only lose a percentage from that number that we can choose to make it that way for X days. I mean, that might be a little bit more calculation. Maybe they're going to open up their API and people can code some cool stuff. I know that I'm not going to say anything, but yeah, there's some people that have been working on some stuff. Good morning. Did the micro to mini conversion go live on all platforms or just Topstep X? Mason, it's only on Topstep X right now. John asked, Rips, what time does the 101 calendar reset? I missed my chance last week. It'll reset today at what time? 11 a.m. Eastern time, 11 a.m. Rips, when are you doing a behind the scenes? Sooner than later. Definitely going to happen. I think more positive once you have respect. Yeah, I mean, when you have respect for the market, for sure, 100%. I decided to go all in on trading in November. Still haven't been profitable, but you cannot fail if you do not give up. Apply discipline in all areas of life and can expedite your progress. Yes, 100%. There's Zach. Good luck to you on your journey. Rips, when are the dates for the Vegas meetup? Good question there, Trader Joe. Hopefully sometime in the fall. They were originally going to be in June. And they pulled the rug on us. They pulled the rug on us. It was going to be June 6th or June 19th, something like that. And they pulled the rug on us. That was going to be for the Topstep Trader League. But, I mean, I don't really mind all that much. I was looking forward to it being there in the summer. But, I mean, it's right around the corner now. So I'm happy that we're kind of taking a pause until June there. Yeah, Rips in Vegas. We're going to do it, Chandi. Hopefully I'll see you out there, buddy. I struggled for years with trading because I make a great salary and I work from home. So I would try to do both and it negatively affected my trading. See, there you go. It's the trading was like playing and I didn't care. Exactly. See, when you have a lot of people think, oh, you have a lot of money trading, it's going to be a benefit. It's like, no, it can be a hindrance. It can make you devalue the concept of cash. And then you look back and you realize, holy smokes, in that month alone, I just blew out $250,000. This is crazy. What do you play in Vegas? Baccarat. That's my game. Or sometimes, if the mood strikes me right, we'll hit a little blackjack there. Am I going on Topstep TV today? I am. Yeah, monkey. Do you know where that term came from, by the way, Chandi? Does anybody know where the term monkey came from when you're calling for a 10 in Baccarat? Does anybody actually know? That's a crazy story. You do know. Yeah, it's I want to see if anybody. Yeah, okay. So you actually do know, Chandi. So it's the folks that couldn't pronounce the word monarchy because the monarchy cards were the kings, queens, jacks, and the high cards. And so when people couldn't, they did talk about it in the movie 21. Really? Did they? Did they really? No way. Come on. Oh, well then what? Who cares? And it's probably that I'm just quoting a movie then. No, I got told this story in person. Jeff, check my Instagram story. It's still live right now. Hi, Rips. Apologies if you've ever covered this before, but is there a link to all the Topstep X features and benefits? There's they posted on the Topstep YouTube channel. You can watch all the features of it. 40 years old, still never been to a casino. Hey, maybe that's a good thing, Fist for 5. You never know. Some people have terrible gambling problems. I mean, I've never had a gambling problem myself, but I know people that have had gambling problems, and it's like, it's just nasty to see that. Nasty to see that. So, Rips, we can trade 50 micros to 5 minutes. Yes, you can, Squeeze. 100%. That is correct. Keep the pressure on MP to allow more XFAs. Hey, he's on Topstep TV today, and I'll be next to him. So, yeah, I'm going to let him know. I'll say, hey, yeah, great on that micros and minis things, but let's get to work here. Let's talk about more XFAs, buddy. Oh, goodness. Honestly, having a trading buddy can really help you stay in check as well. I've been trading with you on here, and so far I feel that I've stayed more in check and don't overtrade so much. There you go, Ragnarok. That's the way right there. Went to Vegas, came out ahead, found $20 on the floor. That's the way to do it right there. Hey, Rips, I utilize 150 micros on my practice account. It's silly, but will help you stay in trades longer. There you go. It's true, Richard. Whatever happened to the static drawdown they mentioned? It's one of those things they're working on there, Alchemist. One of the things they're working on. It's in the queue of things that are going on. All right, Redbook retail sales here, coming in hot. Oh, Nick Dolby's in chat. Say what up to Nick Dolby. It's Dolby time. It is Dolby time. Last day to bother MP before he takes a trip. Where is he going? Is he going to go to the CME, take another test? I'm certified in 16 different ways to trade the markets. Look at me. You don't know? He didn't tell you it's travel? Come on. How would it benefit MP to do 10 XFAs? I could see 10 lives, then he could make money too. Oh, you don't need 10 lives. You just do what Dakota did, which is raising your limits on those live accounts. I just deposited $200 into an online casino, but using their VIP programs and all the bonus money they drop, I pulled out $4,500 and have $5,100 in the account. Wow, that's crazy. You're definitely the outlier there, Travis. Maybe take it all out. Or keep doing what you're doing if it's working there. Trader Joe says, my wife is playing the new Taylor Swift around the house nonstop. Help me. I assume that you're back from your cruise there, Trader Joe. How was your cruise? He's not in the U.S. Oh, my goodness. Can you tell him about the fee? We want the fee for $450. I think that they're probably going to do some kind of launch thing. The rumor was, by the way, we are pushing up here. The rumor was that they were going to be doing, whatchamacallit, $15. That's what it was, $15. $15 on the 150Ks there. Look at this squeeze right now. Squeezing on the Redbook retail sales. I'm kidding. 5.3% for the year over year, 5.1% for the month on, month to date on April. What was the prior reading? It was a little bit lower. Interesting. So we're pumping on that. Don't know if you talked about this, but please explain how you play your levels. We just kind of use them as a GPS to guide our trades. So something like this, where we're using this right here as a backstop. This is on a key level right here. Going long on that level. Nice rejection off that level, double bottom off that level. And then again, we kind of reject off this level. You could use that as strength. And then once we kind of reject it up here, kind of using that as a topping level until we turn that into support level. So support and resistance from their most simple standpoint, but just using it as a GPS to guide your trade. Like yesterday on Topstep TV in the final hour, we were talking about, where was it? This trade was right here. So everybody was talking, Dolby was actually trading this as well. I don't know if he got the same short or anything, but we were up here and we were meandering along this 56. Whoop, that's not the right one. Meandering along 50-60 here. And right there, we were stopped up along that level. And I said, if we flush 50-60, the target's going to be 50-44 and a half. And sure, it went down and went right to that level and tagged it right in the face. And seems like witchcraft, but those are the levels that you use to just guide you through the trade. And once we had meandered below that level, it was still kind of acting as a level of support. And you can see that 50-44 level was very, very strong. And same thing, right back up to our level, just trading that level to level. So use them like a GPS to guide your trade. For those who traded the PMI, has it swung the market much? It's going to be a decently important print today. It will be a decently important print. By the way, if we have 500 likes here, we are going to do a quick poll. Oh, we're only at 3. Is that for real? We're at 377 likes with only 2,000 people watching. What happened to the like button here, folks? By the way, if you can't find the like button, you close the chat, click the like button, and then re-pop open the chat there. Nick Dolby, I did give you an 11 out of 10. I probably wrote about 3 paragraphs on how amazing you are there, Dolby. Why do I make $100 profit and flatten, but let my trade go down to 400? Very common problem there, David. Very, very common problem. There we go. Wow, look at that. 600 likes already. There we go. Boom. Let's do a poll. Will the NQ end of the day, what is it, 0.35 above or below 0.35%? All right, here we go, folks. Poll is live. Your votes are anonymous, so please vote with honesty here, folks. And by the way, you folks did those likes so fast. We're already at 700 likes. If we get it up to 1,000 before I have to leave for Topstep TV, I will give away a free month of Clubhouse. I'm just saying. Hey, good morning there, Luna. Came over to like now, going back to Discord. I was wondering what you're doing in here. Oh, goodness. Rips in my trading today. Hey, if we have a nice setup, I just didn't see anything that tickled my fancy here. I did see some folks making it happen, though. We had that beautiful pullback to the VWAP there. All roads, according to George, lead to VWAP. Some traders probably caught that bounce. I missed it myself. I did not catch it myself there. Why would my accounts get closed without rules being broken? Help! Can't get an answer from help desk. Check out your dashboard. It's going to tell you all the answers you need to know. Let me send that to you right here. It's going to be this link right here. What is the privilege of the Market Clubhouse Discord? Well, you get real-time trading in YouTube. There's a lag no matter, I have it set to the lowest latency possible. It's set to ultra low latency right now, stream latency, ultra low latency. But you'll often find that even though I have ultra low latency, it doesn't matter. There's still going to be a little bit of a lag. So there's zero latency in the Discord, or as close to zero as you can get. We do webinars often. There's a whole webinar archive. But the best thing about it is that you can just check it out for 7 days. Let me just drop the link here. Check it out for 7 days. See if it's a good fit for your trading. We have an awesome community in there. And if it's, if it tickles your fancy, you can find that out in those first 7 days. There's really I can sit here and talk about it over and over and over, but the easiest thing to do is you come in for 7 days. It's practically free. It's practically free to try it out for those 7 days. And if you like it, you stick around there. The VWAP chef's kiss. Mwah. A very supportive group, as well as more eyes than just one. There you go, Twin Trading. There you go. Rips, are you excited for San Diego's new MLS team next year? I'm not a big soccer fan, NL. I'm not a huge soccer fan, so not my thing there. Hey, Trader Joe, welcome to Chat VIP. Thanks for joining there, buddy. Appreciate that. So kind of you. But yeah, so check it out for 7 days. It's if you like it, great. If not, do you trade live in Discord as well? Of course, absolutely. Just the webinars and Market Clubhouse make it worth a 7-day trial. Hey, thank you, Zach. Appreciate you. You show us some ES levels? Sure, why not? I'm feeling frisky this morning. We'll give you a limited supply. There we go. So up to 50, 77.5, all the way down to 50, 32 and 3/4 there. I have 1.17 live latency on your stream. It is 3 to 8 seconds on most streams. See, there you go. And that's because I set it to ultra low latency there. Clubhouse is worth every penny. Guys, been in here over a month and plan on never leaving. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate you. A lot of great feedback here. I really appreciate it, everybody. He loves pickleball. I'm not a big fan of pickleball. It's just not my game. I'd prefer tennis there. That's my thing. Delay is 2 seconds in Georgia. Yeah, we do these YouTube streams every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. And there's if you want a little bit extra value, give it a shot. Cucumber ball seems better. I've never actually played cucumber ball here, Joey. It's called football, not soccer. My American card is showing. What else do you pay attention to besides the level as far as technicals? The options chain is everything that I'm paying attention to. That's what I was raised on. My mentors were the ones who taught me all about the importance of options and how important it is in the trade. But market structure, levels, options chain, that's what you want to be looking at there. Would love a live stream where you and Coach DBA play pickleball. Yes, foot soccer. I love that. How do you become channel members on YouTube? You click the join button there, Rons. There's a join button. You have to hide the chat. You have to hide the chat. You click the X on the chat there. Rips, is Market Clubhouse catered to prop traders who subscribe to Topstep, or do you provide trading advice and community for any type of trader? Yeah, anybody. We traded options all year last year, but there was more people that were interested in trading on futures, so we switched over to futures full time. There's a huge debate about it. It was like there was days where it was like a 50-50 split, and we kept trading options. But we focused on index options most of the time last year. We did really, really well last year. Had a great year. But then we switched towards the tail end of the year, Q4. We switched over into trading, primarily just trading futures. But I provide the levels every single morning in the morning memo, and that's published into the Discord. We have SPY, Triple Qs, Apple, Microsoft, Meta, NVIDIA, Google, Tesla, and there's a lot of levels. I provide a comprehensive trade plan on all of that every single day. So even if you don't trade futures, there's definitely some value in there for you. So yeah, I think it's worthwhile. Discord link, again, I'll drop that for you here. And then I think we're going to have to, boogie here. Let's see what the poll said. So right now we're trading 0.36. The poll asked, are we going to be above or below 0.35? 59% are bullish today. 59% are saying that it's going to be above 0.35%. So we're looking at a continued rally here off these lows 21% say below, and 20% are just too tired to answer, which is interesting because you still click the button, so you're not too tired. I caught you. Whatever happened to Hacky Sack? Hacky Sack. Oh my goodness. I'm sure you could still find that going off on street fairs. Come on. Did we get to 1,000? Are we at 1,000 yet? We got to 795. I mean, we'll give you folks 5 more minutes and then I got to run. 5 more minutes. Get to 1,000 likes. That's it. Too tired to care. 200 more likes. We'll do it. The old Hacky Sack. Yeah, I mean, Hacky Sack. That brings you way back before smartphones. I do want to do slow markets with Coach Dakota, as long as he fixes his audio. Last time I was on there, it was Domo Argato, Mr. Roboto, the whole time. We are 100 and wow, it's going so fast. 140 likes away, 160 likes away now. Played Hacky Sack in high school, brought it back from the 70s. Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, back before smartphones. It was a good time. I feel bad for people that don't know how good that used to be. It was so nice. It was so nice not having phones. Actual real conversations with people. I have a rule. If you go out to dinner with me, you have to put your phone face down on the middle of the table there. Hey, welcome there, friendy. You got to do that. Try that rule. If you go out with your friends, you go out to dinner, have a rule. Everybody takes their phone face down, middle of the table. So you can't see any alerts. And then if your kids are at home and they're trying to call you with an emergency, they're going to suffer. They don't get that call. I'm not answering. I'm at dinner. Yeah, that's the only thing that you have to worry about. Remember using an atlas to navigate? Oh, what was it? The Macmillan Guide? You remember the Macmillan Guide? Going on road trips, pulling out the old Macmillan Guide? Rivers, if I come to California, can we have a coffee? Of course. Why not? I remember when MTV first came out. Yeah. Good stuff. Goal of the week. Rand McNally, was it? Wait, the Thomas Guide? Was it what was it? The Macmillan Guide? Am I just way off here? There's no Macmillan Guide. Nobody's ever heard the Macmillan Guide. It doesn't even exist. The Thomas Guide. Is that what it was? The Thomas Guide. It was like that bound thing that you go like, oh, I got to go to section A47 here. Ah, A47. Wonderful. Thomas Guide. Maybe it was the Thomas Guide. I don't know where I got the Macmillan Guide. Just making things up over here. Who the heck is Rand McNally? Wait, is Rand McNally? Okay, so who the heck is Rand McNally? Is Rand McNally Maps? Okay, so I'm not completely crazy then. Oh, goodness. Okay, so I'm not losing my mind over here. Phew. I thought I was going crazy for a second there. Rand McNally is the map guide. Okay, well, I said McMillan. Maybe I'm thinking of that one show. Hey, welcome there, Seth. Good to have you with us. Rand McNally in the room. Good to get some jollies out before we go on Topstep TV here. That's funny. All right, folks. Well, it's about that time. You know what to do. Let's have a rip trade going over to Topstep TV. Unfortunately, I didn't take any trades this morning, but hey, we had some fun chatting about it. Obviously, there we go. No trades. Sitting here with a zero balance. Maybe we'll take some trades on Topstep TV. We'll see if we find anything here. But just looking at the price action, we are just kind of topping out on the NQ here again. We are, look at that, kind of topping out at this upper area. So we'll have to see. I mean, I want to see some market information getting injected here, which we're going to see when we get the PMI. So once we get the PMI, we'll be able to trade off of it. And that's what I think is a fair trade to wait for here. And if we don't get anything good off the PMI, if the print is not an outlier print and it comes in line with whatever the market is pricing in already, hey, then maybe we wait for that Treasury 2-year note auction, or we have a no trade day today. Who knows, right? We have no idea what the market's going to bring us here. But all right, folks, that's going to wrap up the YouTube stream for me on YouTube, on Discord. Don't go anywhere, folks. Yeah, there it is, the Road Atlas. Thank you. I feel like they had those back in the 80s and 90s there. You never have to have a no trade day. I mean, it happens from time to time. Maybe today will be that day. But let's go do a rip trade over in Topstep TV's channel. If you want to get a link to Topstep, drop that for you here. Here it is, folks. Head on over to Topstep TV, and I'll see you folks over there. Folks in the Discord, don't go anywhere. Take care, everybody. I'll see you bright and early here on this YouTube channel tomorrow, and I'll see you in just a moment on Topstep TV. Take care.